We're going to bring up our good friend Chase Huna, who's going to play some saxophone with us today. How about a little encouragement for this young man? He's amazing. All right. These songs you're hearing today from Chase are on his current album, On the Chase. Is that not the title?
Yes.
But he's also working on a brand new album, which should be out sometime in January. So stay tuned. All right, and the CSL band, thank you everybody. Good morning. It's time for us to do our opening song. We're going to have you please turn off your cell phones, stand up and get ready to do our opening song, the Spirit Song. Here we go. Yes?
That's a lot of good to move. All right, good morning everybody. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit.
Well,
Good morning,
good
everybody.
morning.
You had that extra hour this morning, didn't you?
Yeah.
Had that extra hour you did.
And it was easier to find a parking place and everything. And I have to say, the 9 o'clock actually was pretty full, didn't you think?
Yeah, for 9 o'clock.
I
it was actually
told them
pretty
I
good.
was disappointed because I really liked the one, but I got to sleep in an extra hour. But no, it was wonderful. The energy was great, and you're in for a great service. So let's get started. We have a lot going on. Wellness Wednesdays, we're starting that this month, and it's always going to be the last Wednesday of the month. And what I realize is we have a lot of people here in our center that they are engaged in different types of health modalities. And we thought, well, it'd be great to showcase our congregants to each other to find out, maybe you want to know what Reiki's all about. And so please join Denise Marie. She's wonderful. She'll be here on Wednesday, October the 30th. And we had...
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
next
go
week.
ahead,
Is it next week? 2 weeks.
2
In
weeks.
2 weeks,
2
we've
weeks.
got the Palm Springs Pride. We'll be teaming up with the Center for Spiritual Living in Palm Springs. On Saturday night, we're having a spaghetti dinner there at 6 o'clock. And then the next day, we're going to march in the parade. And what's really interesting is we're number 10 in the parade, which means there's 300 entrants, and we're number 10, which means we'll be done by about 10:20. So... I know, so it's a great time for you to show up because you'll be there at 9 o'clock. You'll be done by 10:20.
Are you going to be back here for the 11 o'clock service?
Probably not, but other people, you can rush back here for the 11. Actually, I probably could. You could rush back here for the 11 o'clock service, but it's a real. If you've never done it before, we'll put a Center for Spiritual Living T-shirt on for you, and it is so much fun.
Maybe you could do a live stream from there. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he's like, not today. Don't talk to me about that today. So anyway, our wonderful Gail Morton is going to be having a Healing Through the Holidays Without You. I'm not going to say much about it because she's doing our power talk today, and then she'll tell you a little bit about it right at the end of her talk. So we'll move on to the next one.
Yes,
Wanda,
congratulations to Steve Morgan and Mike Hadley for they won in the the Desert Theater League Awards, Desert Star Awards for the theater performances.
Yes.
Mike for direction.
Outstanding director. Not only does he sing and act, he also directs, right? Yes.
You just do it all, Mike.
Does it all. So, Ross, how many more openings do you have for Integratron? 10 more. 10 more. They're going fast, so you better sign up for that. Go over to the Rainbow Alliance table and sign up. Lunch is included, and we have our pet ministry, and they've got a bake sale, and they'll be coming through at the end, so you'll get a
couple video
little chance.
announcements for this week, so just please be real patient. There's a lot of great information there and something else.
I've got some exciting news for you. This is the sanctuary today, and I know you know what it looks like on Sunday with Dr. Joe, but we're going to transform the place. Hi, my name is Ross Holmquist, and I'm here to personally invite you to our 2019 Center Gala on Friday, December 6th. You should have received an invitation in the mail, but if not, I have one for you on the patio, or we can arrange to have one mailed. If you attended last year's celebration, you know how amazing the transformation was that took place in this sanctuary, so this year's is not to be missed. Join us for a cocktail reception, a delicious catered dinner, entertainment, and even disco dancing with Dr. Joe. This year will be our opportunity to honor the dedicated service of our Assistant Minister, Reverend Dr. Laura Shackelford, in receiving her honorary doctorate from Centers for Spiritual Living. Our special guest will be Dr. Ken Gordon, Spiritual Director, Centers for Spiritual Living Headquarters. This is a fun fundraising celebration, and tickets are only $175 per person. There are also sponsorship opportunities available, starting with service sponsors at $100 and continuing with individual and business sponsorships available at many levels. All opportunities are outlined and enclosed with your invitation. Please mark your calendar, complete your reply card, and join us for this elegant evening in December. For more information, see me on the patio after service.
Through time, there have been voices. Voices that inspire. Voices that drive us. Voices that share the way. Now, for the first time, you are invited to be immersed in these life-altering voices of the past, to create a new stepping stone in your life for your future. Your guide, Reverend Ruth Ann Banner. An 8-week course beginning Tuesday, October 29th, from 9 a.m. to noon.
Hey, normally at this point we say, oh, Dr. Joe's going to teach a class, it's going to be really good, you're going to really enjoy it, you're going to get a lot out of it, and you're not going to know what the heck it means. All right, I'm teaching self-mastery. Chances are this is going to be the last time I teach self-mastery at this center. Self-mastery at this class is based on the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, but it's not the crux of the class. The class is all about how to discover your greatest potential. And you know what? You may have had the class. In fact, if you've had the class, you know that the comments about this class, even from practitioners and ministers, are that it is probably one of the best classes we've ever taught in all of their curriculum. So that means this is a hot ticket. This is a hot number. And you got one more chance to do it. I'm making it really affordable so that a lot of people can do it. It's like $20 a class. Even if you've taken it, if your life isn't reflecting it, maybe you need a refresher course. And if your life isn't reflecting that which you really want to experience, this is going to change everything for you. It changed everything for me. And as soon as I started teaching this course, people were just talking about how they transformed. This is going to happen. I'm only teaching Monday nights, starting at 6 o'clock, and I want you to sign up as soon as possible. Thank you. Hey, so you might be wondering why I'm doing this announcement. Especially if you're at the center, you're probably looking at me over here, standing right here. But there's a reason why. The reason why is this. I tend to get emotional when I talk about the subject matter, and I want to make sure that we can put this out to the live stream and to our social media posts so that there's a lot of clarity around this process. As many of you know, in June this year, I announced that I would be retiring, or at least I'm starting to plan my retirement, and we would move into a succession plan. The Board of Trustees and the search committee have been very active in this process, and the application process closed on September 30th. On September 30th, we then resumed the search committee and looked at all of the different resumes, and we have narrowed it down to 3 different candidates. The process will be like this. A candidate will come in on a Tuesday into our valley. On Wednesday, they will do a Wednesday night service, which I'll explain a little bit more in that. And then on that following Sunday, they will join us, and the candidate and myself will do pick-a-page. So you'll be able to see the candidate do a standard talk, and then you're going to see how they do on their feet. I strongly encourage you to attend the Wednesday night service first, because this will be your opportunity to see in totality with an entire music team this person's program. They're putting the entire program together for that evening for you. This is your opportunity to see who will be the future leader of CSL Palm Desert. So I encourage you to be here. We're going to have a buffet or a pasta dinner or something before each one so that we can have a sense of community at 5:30, and then at 6:30 on those Wednesday nights. That's what's going to happen. So plan on being there. Thank you. On October 23rd, Wednesday, October 23rd, there will be a pasta dinner here at the Center for Spiritual Living at 5:30, followed by our first candidate, Charles Hall. Charles Hall comes to us from Seattle. He started out as the Seattle Center for Spiritual Living. He did a stint at the Agape Youth and Family Ministry. He did a stint at the headquarters for the Youth and Family Ministry, and then he founded a church called Genesis in Seattle. He is our first candidate. He and his daughter are coming down, his 6-year-old daughter, and I know it's going to be a wonderful evening. I can't wait for you to meet him, for you to hear him, and to experience Charles Hall. So Wednesday, the 23rd, be here, 5:30 for dinner, 6:30 for the service. Charles could be your next spiritual leader. We want you to see him. Please be there. 5:30 for dinner. What do you think? Yes? Last quick announcement. We did have 3 candidates, but one has been taken out by the Board of Trustees. We dove a little bit deeper into some credential issues, and so we're down to 2. So you'll have this week, this coming Wednesday, and then first week of November, Mark Anthony Lord from Chicago will be here, and I'll tell you more about him. So let's get into our program for today. So let's welcome Jerry Lynn. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on?
All right, today we're doing music from my show called Peace Please. I don't know if any of you saw that a couple years ago. We did it. We're going to actually do it again here in 2020. And so today we're going to revisit some of that music. We're going to also bring our good friend Chase Huna out, and you will be able to buy CDs, etc. outside afterward. Are you ready? Come on, baby. This first song is called We've Got to Try. May not have the answer of the how, the when, or why. May not know which way to go when the tempest starts to fly. But we cannot make excuses when the world is trapped in fear. We can't explain away the pain and just hope it disappears. Whoa, oh, oh. We may not move a mountain, we may not reach the sky, cannot calm the waters deep if we can't see eye to eye. But we cannot hide behind the truth that's become so out of hand. We may not get a second chance, so we better stand up and take a stand. World a better place. Heal us for we fall from grace. We gotta elevate the human race. Become so out of hand. We may not get a second chance, so we better stand up, stand and take a stand. We've got to try to make this world a better place. That's just before we fall from grace. Elevate the human race.
Chase, way to
It's
go.
a great band. Thank you.
Beautiful, man. Always. So every week we open up with our mission statement. It reminds us why we're doing what we're doing. So here we go. Bring it up, William. Join me. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. So now I'd like to introduce you to our power speaker, our power talker today, Gail. Gail Morton, come on up, Gail. She's one of our second-year ministerial students, and I think this is your first time to do a Power Talk.
Yes, it is.
So welcome, Gal,
thank you,
everybody.
Dr.
Let's support
Joe.
her.
Thank you. And good morning, Palm Desert. So many of you would recognize me as one of the practitioners here that works with individuals who are on their journey through grief and loss. And you're absolutely right, that would be me. But today, this morning, I'm doing something new and different. My first Power Talk, as Dr. Joe said. So to do that, I'm going to put on a new hat. There we go. And I'll let you tell me how this goes. So I'm curious about something this morning. Have you ever worked on something that is really difficult in your life? And then, when you feel like you've grown through it, boom, it pops up again. And it feels like a giant setback. Yeah, I'm seeing some nodding heads. I know that is absolutely true for me. And Dr. David Hawkins, in his book, Power versus Force, addresses setback. And this is what he tells us. So you have never lost your way. You are never off the path. But maybe it has come up again to heal in a new way or to provide a new perspective of higher vision. Don't you just love that perspective? Let's hold on to that for a minute and see if we can add to it, maybe grow it a little bit. So we often feel like we come around to the same challenges, the same problems again and again. And we wonder, why do I keep coming back to this? As if I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I'm making a mistake. Well, the truth is, whatever is in front of you right now is exactly what needs to be in front of you. And if it feels like it's the same issue, the same challenge, the same problem again and again, rest assured, it's not. Because you can never step in the same river twice. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus states this truth beautifully. This is what he says. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he or she is not the same man. So when I was studying to be a practitioner, something really icky happened in my life. I got a new boss, and yep, you know him or her, the boss from hell. And a job that I had dearly loved for nearly 30 years overnight became a job that I instantly hated. And that was pretty tough. And what I learned through that experience, what was really important, is that I started asking myself, well, what's going on with my spiritual practice? I'm a practitioner. I'm training to be one. Why is it not working? That was kind of a hard period in my life. And so that was my first reaction. And I want to share that with you today because that was only a reaction. It was truly not what I knew the truth was. And so I share that with you today because many of us, when we're on the spiritual path, run into something icky. And our first reaction is, this is not working. What's going on? And what I have to tell you is, the truth is, there's nothing going on. It is working. It's just that your life is unfolding. And when life unfolds, it unfolds with that beautiful gift of growth. And for me, the growth opportunity in this situation was to ask myself and then to answer two important questions. The first is, how can I grow through this? And the second is, how can I use this icky mess to create an even better me? So since I've been here at the center, and I've been working with congregants, I've run into a number of people who have either temporarily stopped coming to services or temporarily ceased their spiritual practice, or both, because they ran into something icky. Maybe it was a health problem or a financial concern. But they ran into this icky thing. And they felt like they needed to work it all through completely before they came back or resumed their spiritual practice. Well, what's important to know through the icky is that it is your spiritual practice that gets you through. And sticking with my spiritual practice taught me something incredibly important. And that is that everybody, absolutely everybody, that comes into my life is there to help me. Whether it's obvious or not, and often it isn't, but that is absolutely the truth. And by sticking with my spiritual practice, I was able to create a life, an amazing life, that I could never have imagined, because my icky boss helped me realize that it was time for me to grow, that it was time for Gail to grow and move beyond this, and that's what I did. In addition to creating this amazing life, I am certain that I also extended my true lifespan. And I believe that it's likely that I also probably saved my life through this growth. And that's a pretty good return on spiritual practice investment. So the spiritual capsule to my lesson today is this: no matter what you're going through, no matter how wonderful or how awful, this is your center. We're here for you. We're here to lift you up. Bottom line, we're here to hold the space for you through the wonderful and through the icky. Thank you for listening today, and thank you for supporting my new hat.
Tell them about your class. Your class?
Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. So I want to mention just briefly Healing Through the Holidays. So Healing Through the Holidays is really designed to help you, individuals here, who have lost a loved one or loved ones, help you heal through the holidays and navigate the upcoming holidays and also the special events and occasions that happen during the year, for which we know there are many. It's really a grief survival kit for the holidays. So drawing upon both personal and professional grief experiences, this workshop will enable you to gain a new confidence as you're navigating these special seasons during the year, and also to grieve well during the holidays. The holidays after loss are difficult, and they can also be good. Let us show you how. Please join us on Tuesday, November 5th, at either 9 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. in the Ohm Room. There's sign up on the patio, and I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Gail. All right. So now let's move into our meditation. Let's everybody close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Allow yourself to sink into the seat. Have the seat support you. One more deep breath in. Sigh on the exhale. And we can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time.
And in this beautiful place of peace, this place of centeredness and groundedness, that beautiful place within ourselves where we know Spirit resides and lives and dwells and moves in, as, and through each one of us. The beauty, the joy, the love, the qualities, the harmony, the oneness and the wholeness that is God in us. That beautiful place. Just love that moment, this moment, and that place inside of you, right here and right now. That universal beauty that is each individual. And as I know that I am one with that power and that presence and that beauty and that joy that lives in me, I know it is true for each person in this room and each person listening to this prayer. I know and claim and declare that the universal energy flowing through this room, through each of us, through every living creature is present and palpable and beautiful right here, right now, in this moment. And I declare that the oneness of Spirit and the oneness of the universe flows freely and effortlessly throughout your life, throughout my life, throughout all life. And I am so thankful and grateful for knowing the universal presence is here. And I know this is true as I release this word to universal law, knowing it is all done in the mind of God perfectly. And we know this together by saying, and so it is. Amen.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. Please join me in the face of God. Here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are the face of God again. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. Last time through, let's sing it out. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love.
In these unsettled times, filled with doubt and fear, as we struggle to understand, take a deep breath, open your heart, and reach for each other's hand. Stand in the presence of love, no matter where you go. Stand in the truth of what you know. Stand in your light, let it shine bright. Know you will rise above when you stand in the presence of love. Life may seem fragile, uncertain, unclear. Seems like we've lost our way. But open your mind, release, and you will find the dawn of a brand new day. Every day, stand in the presence of try to quiet the noise, 'cause the answers lie deep within you. When you stand up, stand up, stand in the presence of love, no matter where you go. Stand in the truth of what you know. Stand in your light. Let it shine bright. Though you will rise above. When you stand in the presence, stand in your presence, stand in the presence of love. Chase women gonna stand. Chase her. Oh, stand. Come on. Stand. Stand in the presence of love. Come on, stand. Woo. Stand. Stand in the presence of love. Come on, stand. Oh, stand. Stand in the presence of love. Stand every day. Stand. Stand in the presence. You know you got to stand in your essence. Stand in the presence of love. Stand in the presence of love.
All right. Jerry Lynn, the band, the singers. Chase, man. Hey, Chase, wait.
Thank you.
What? Want me to take a No, no, yeah. Tell me what's going on with you. What are you doing?
So currently, I am just touring the country. I've been doing my own shows around the country and with other bands, just performing and working on.
Waiting for that one big break.
Exactly,
right?
waiting for that one big
So
break.
we're praying for that big break, and then you got to come back and see us when that happens. All right?
Of course, of course.
All right, man. Thank you, Chase. Isn't he amazing? Wow. So today my talk title is Things to Think About, and the reason I came to this talk title was I turned on the news. Oh man, was that a mistake? But I want to be informed. I don't want to be like, this Pollyanna with my, head in the sand. And so I wanted to find out what was going on. And so I turned on the news, and there's just a lot of fear-based words going around, right? Do you feel that a little bit? So I picked up 4 of them in this one conversation that I was listening to, and here they are. Ready? They were talking about victimization, insecurity, undervalued, and inflexibility. Ooh, isn't that lovely? So today my talk is going to be about those things, and here's why. Because whatever happens on the macrocosm of the world is an effect of the microcosm, right? Whatever's happening on the big is happening in the little. So that means there's a lot of people who are feeling victimized, insecure, undervalued, and inflexible. So how can we change that? How can we change that? If you are feeling any one of these four things, we have to look at that. And if you know people feeling these things, we need to look at that and see, okay, if I may not be able to change it on the global level yet, right? But today, I know I can change myself, and what happens on the microcosm happens in the macrocosm, so it will grow from there out into the world. And I'm not saying that we're going to change the world today, but we're going to begin to change you and have you look at your life, and that will begin to shift the consciousness and the energy for everybody around us. It has to start somewhere, and it starts with the person sitting in the seat. So I'm going to take these four ideas. I'm going to go on a little tangent on each one and then throw some Dr. Ernest Holmes in there and bring it all the way around to how we can actually walk out of here today and change something about it. First one, victimization. Belief that the movie of your life is controlling you instead of controlling it. Anyone feel that? Anyone feel like, I'm not casting any characters, they just seem to roll in, right? I don't cast these people. I don't invite this crap into my life. They just show up, uninvited. Really? I think that's virtually impossible. I think everything that's happening, we control what's going on in the movie. We can't give that up. When you're feeling victimized, it's just you're feeling like you're just going through your life, going through the paces, and you're not having any out-picturing or any leading edge on your life and how that's going to change. How do we change that? We change it through the principle of gratitude. The principle of gratitude connects us with the higher vision of life. Sometimes our little problems would be considered a big old dream by other people. Think about it. Sometimes we're dealing with champagne problems. You know, where am I going to eat today? That's a champagne problem because there are people in the world who don't know where their next meal is. That's true. I remember my dad was the superintendent of schools, and here's a harsh reality. My dad was superintendent of schools in Michigan, and we were a lot of snow days, right? We would get a lot of snow days. But he had to grapple with having a snow day and calling it as the superintendent, not because he didn't know that some of us would enjoy having a day off, but when he called off school, that meant there were some kids whose only meal was at lunchtime at the school would not get fed that day. So we start looking at, I just don't know what to do. We have champagne decisions in many parts of our lives that some people really, they don't have those choices. And I remember he would struggle every night thinking about that, thinking, I'm going to have to close down school and those kids aren't going to be able to eat. And he carried that guilt because of the weather. That was the weather. He had nothing to do with that, but that was his reality. And so sometimes when we feel victimized, we need to turn to the things that are going well in my life. Hey, I may not know where I'm eating, but I know that I'm going to. Never had a problem with that. Right? Same thing with your health. Same thing with your relationships. I'm not talking that everything is perfect for us. I don't know anybody whose life is perfect. I really don't. But I know that when I play the role of the victim, I keep bringing in incidences for me to be victimized more and more. And the only way to turn that is through gratitude. Be grateful for the things that I have, because gratitude always grows the garden. I may not be able to have all that I want, but I start giving thanks for that which I have, and it starts to expand. Does that make sense? All right. Dr. Holmes said this, I deliberately turn from everything that depresses and sing a song of praise, of gratitude and joy. I sing a song of the triumph of spirit over all apparent negation. In the midst of darkness, I sing a song of the dawn, for I know that the eternal light dissipates all darkness. I like that. Now, that's not saying sometimes it's easy to see the little light. I mean, I'll just speak for myself. When I go to the pity party of Joe, and then I start to spin and create even more of that atmosphere around me, sometimes I can't even see the light because I'm so caught up in my own stuff. But the eternal light is always there. I've just dimmed it down and made it hidden from my sight because I've chosen to spin. Anybody know someone like that? Okay. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, next thing, insecurity. Fear, we need to learn. Here we go. Fear, insecurity. We can begin to trust that fear. Why? Because of what I want to call the caterpillar consciousness. Caterpillar consciousness creates the shift from insecurity to inner security. I have to know that when I'm not feeling secure, there is something within me that is not being met. And the caterpillar consciousness is the little by little by little, by little, I begin to create an argument that my life isn't as bad as it seems, and everything has always worked out, even though at the moment I really don't see it. Little by little, I can create that inner security knowing that the universe is supporting me in what I'm wanting to do in my life, when I'm wanting to heal. The caterpillar consciousness is that little by little, I can turn around and look at my life and go, there was that time, and there was this time, and there was that time, and there was this time. And I begin to create an argument for myself, a debate for myself. When I'm feeling insecure, that's the time to turn to my inner security based on the facts of my life that have already played themselves out and worked out well. And again, that's hard to see when you're in the middle of something. You don't want to really focus on that, but try it. Try moving into that idea that you can trust that insecurity in that it is leading you to a place where, like Gail said in her talk, where the things that you think aren't working out, she said so beautifully. She said, they're happening there, and I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be. How do you spell that? I'm supposed to be. Never mind, it just flows out. I'm supposed to be where I'm at. Even though some of the things that have happened don't appear to be to my liking, I have to know that this is where I'm at. And Joe, it's okay. It's okay. Get the caterpillar consciousness. Get that idea behind me and say, you know what? I know this is going to work out for my greater good. Dr. Holmes said this, once our consciousness becomes stabilized through security founded on a conviction of the nature of God, and we come to have an inner awareness that the creative intelligence of the universe resides at the center of us, then will our experience take on a pattern of harmony, a natural outflowing of our inner security. So when we finally get to that point, I like the words stabilize. As soon as I stabilize my thinking, anybody know what that feels like? Where finally you go, I think I got it. Yeah, Joe, you're the biggest thing standing in your way. Just be quiet for a minute, all right? When I stabilize that, and then I go back and I look, founded on conviction, I look at the facts of my history and what the universe has provided for me, and then I say, now I can take on a pattern of harmony. A pattern of harmony. How many of you have looked at your life and said, my life is filled with a pattern of harmony? I'd ask you what dispensary you went to. I would be like, hey, share it. But once we get that pattern of harmony, once I get the idea that I keep looking and going, you know what, this is okay, this is not a bunch of drama, just back it off a little bit, there's a pattern of harmony that begins to rise to the surface. When it begins to rise to the surface, a pattern begins to show up. And the pattern is this, less panic. I didn't say panic-free, because I would never push you or me to that place where I could say I'm panic-free, but less. I spend less time in the panic mode. Undervalued. People think I'm worthless. Surface thinking creates the illusion of worthlessness. What happens to you isn't really happening to you, it's happening through you, which will require an acceptance that your experience is God's experience. How could God be worthless? You guys have had one more hour of being awake. I expect you guys to be on your game even more, okay? So, that feeling of worthlessness it's how could God be worthless? And if God is experiencing and expressing by means of me, then I can't call myself worthless or undervalued. I'm meant to be experienced and expressing. Again, like Gail said so beautifully, it may not look at the time like this, but how could God ever be worthless? So if God can't be worthless, how can I be worthless? Because whatever God is, I am, right? We say that all the time. God is, I am, right? God is. So you would say God is worthless? That wouldn't make any sense at all. You'd be like, no way. So it's not comfortable. If it's not comfortable, it doesn't reside. But listen, that experience is happening through us, and moving us through different opportunities, situations, and scenarios in which we can grow. It's really simple. Each of us are unique expressions of God. Behind our personality is a divine individuality. We all have many faces, many moods when the personality is hiding the individualization. But through all of these many faces of the personality, there is a flowing of the essential essence of the living Spirit. Even in my lousiest of moods, there is a flowing, not a fighting. Sometimes we fight that inner beauty, that inner essence. Why? Because our ego or we feel like we have to be right. That gets in the way. So I'm fighting, not flowing. So look at yourself and say, you know what? When I'm feeling less than, am I flowing or am I fighting? Does that make sense? Yes. All right? Inflexibility. How many people here are inflexible? Yeah, at times I am. Good, there's 9 of us. This is great. I love that. Inflexibility is a signal of what? Opportunity. And you might not think it at the moment, but wherever I'm most inflexible, there's an opportunity for growth. When your ego self encounters obstacles, it responds by force. When attacked, we gather everything in our arsenal to protect our way. Ironically, the very force that created it is the same force used to create the necessary change. Toss the habits of old and embrace spontaneity. Whenever I'm inflexible, it means my ego has gotten in the way and I'm willing to fight for my way to be right. Anybody? All right, so we know this feeling. So I'm in the fight, not the flow. Again, I'm in the fight and I'm not in the flow. The very essence of the thing that's going to change it is the very thing that created it, which is all right here in my head. The very essence of a power trip needing to control all resides right here. And it's because I refuse to let that down is when I struggle the most. And people around me hurt the most. Because not only do I struggle with my hurt, I want to bring them in on the party. And that's not a good party to be at. All right? Don't invent a new reaction. Just rely on the inner security you just obtained to guide you into the next experience. So that inner security, right? You don't have to invent a new reaction. Just rely on that inner security. See, all those other things are fear-based ideas. They're fear-based frequencies, they're fear-based energies, and when I convert any kind of fear-based thing to a faith-based thing, then I can reside on my inner security. All right? Next thing, human we are, doing the best we can and ever seeking a fuller realization of our source. Our experiences is filled with laughter and tears, singing, dancing, praying, and exalting, and sometimes falling into the depths of despair. So Dr. Holmes, I love this. He so beautifully says, the human experience is all about all of the different things happening, not just the good that happen. That's what I like about the science of mind. It doesn't always say that everything's great. It says, but the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, all of those things are a balance of what we look at in our life in its totality. And it needs that totality in order for us to experience true life. All right? We need to have a good-natured flexibility toward all that we encounter, not fighting against life, but cooperating with it. Ooh. Does that sound right? What did I say last service? What did I say last service? I was really profound at the last service. You missed it. Get up at 9. Get up at 8. My creativity is held in captivity. Whenever I'm not creating, or whenever I am not cooperating with life, my creativity is held in captivity. Put that in a chapter and smoke it, yes? My creativity is held in captivity. As soon as I start creating ego-based thinking, all of my creativity held captive. Does that make sense? Yes. So here we go. How do we change this? These are the qualities that we're looking at in people and things that are happening around the world. What can we do to move this? So let's talk about it. From victimization to gratitude. If you want to change that, you go to gratitude. If you're feeling like the victim, you go into gratitude. You may not have it all, but you have some. You may not have everything you've ever wanted, but you have some of it. And you probably have a lot more than you're willing to acknowledge Because even the simplest of things we give granted. It's cold in here. Even this, I know, and look, feel, I'm actually cold. I know, ice, it's kind of fun though. I feel like it's kind of June, or kind of December. So from victimization to what? Gratitude. Okay? From insecurity to inner security. And we know how to give up that insecurity by looking back and going, you know what? The universe has brought me up to this point. It's going to continue bringing me to those next points. Why would I ever doubt it? This isn't going to be the one great exception to the universe showing up in my life. Although sometimes it may feel like it, it's not the great exception. From undervalued, for realizing that you are God in skin. You are God in skin. You're all of that. Once we feel, how could you ever feel undervalued if you recognize yourself as God in skin and some hair? Some. Inflexibility into spontaneity. Realize that my creativity cannot be held in captivity as long as I am being creative, and that creativity requires me to be spontaneous and saying, get your old ideas out of the way, Joe. Get out of the idea that you need to fight and get more into the idea of flowing with something. When I get into the idea of flowing with something, things just begin to happen, and there's this harmony that begins to exist as soon as I quit resisting. Does that make sense? So when we start seeing and hearing things on a global level or national level or local level or your own home that feel like, these four qualities, the victimization, insecurity, undervalued, and inflexibility, when you start seeing those qualities show up, you now know where to go to change the energy, and it goes with you first. It has to change with you first in order for you, don't go telling other people that this is how they have to change. Anybody ever try that? Yeah. Not a good experience. It's about residing in that knowingness for you, that gratitude, inner security, God in skin, and I am spontaneous and creative, and all that is mine, not only mine personally, but mine to share. Okay? And so ends your lesson. Thank you, everybody. So before you start walking out of here, make sure that if you're going to come for dinner on Wednesday at 5:30, if you're going to come to the pasta dinner, we need to know how many people are showing up. So there's a place for you to, outside the patio, tell somebody, there's somebody out there taking that information. Make sure we know. And I cannot emphasize enough that I really would love to see you here to see, both candidates, because this person will ultimately be taking over the center as soon as I retire. So please make a special point to be here on Wednesday, 5:30 for dinner, 6:30 for the service, okay? See you there.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. At this time, please, I'd like my ushers to please come forward. Those of you that are live streaming, please, there's a number there. You can text your offering. It only takes a minute to set it up, and then all you do is type it in every time, and you can put in your tithe for this week. Or you can always call the office, too. All right, so at this time, let's say our offertory prayer. Let's just go within, feel that gratitude for all that we have and all that is in our life, and say our prayer. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center. Thank you.
When I wake up in the morning, I trust God. When I'm looking for the answer, I trust God. When I don't understand, I know God has a plan, yeah. I put it in His hands 'cause I trust God. God, there isn't nothing I can't do. I trust God in put him in God's hands. I put him in God's capable hands. I put it in God's hands. Put it in God's capable hands. Put it in God's hands. Put it in God's capable hands. I trust God, there isn't anything I cannot do, no. 'Cause I trust God is gonna see me through. Put it in His hands. I put it in God's hands. I put it in God's capable hands. I put it in God's hands. I put it in God's capable hands. I put it in God's hands every day. I put it in God's capable hands. I put it in God's hands. Woo! I put it in God's capable hands. Thank you.
Okay. So, Chase, and you've got CDs out there, right?
I do. I'm
CD
going out
and-
there right now.
And then do you have T-shirts too?
I have T-shirts,
Oh,
hats,
hats,
coffee
everything.
mugs.
All right.
Trip to
Here, I'm
Vegas,
going to put
yeah.
you here. A trip to Vegas? All right. I'll be out there. All right. Okay. So, do you want to tell everybody your name and how long you've been coming here?
I'm Terry, and I've been coming here 8 years? 10 years.
So,
Check with Kathy. Yes.
Terry's a lovely wife of our practitioner, Kathy, who did our prayer treatment today. And so it was really fun being with you on our vacation. She went with us on our trip to Bangkok and to Bhutan. So,
Lovely. Yes.
all right. So let's just bless our offering together, please. As we say, we bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. And please give it to Annie, our giving chair. Thank you. All right, and so at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, please stand. We have a gift for you, and we'd love to welcome you. And you don't be bashful. All right, welcome. Yay! Yay! Well, thank you all for being here today. Please take your card. I don't think she got one, Ross. Thank you. Please take your card out to the desk at the foyer, and we have a little spiritual tool gift bag for you. So please stop and get that. We welcome you if you're visiting the Valley. You picked a fabulous time of year to be here. And if you're from the Valley, this is a fabulous place to come and make your spiritual home. Also, especially those of you who are new, these are our practitioners, but all my practitioners and ministers that are still here in the sanctuary, please stand up. This is part of your prayer team that holds you in that consciousness of love always. And they're also over at the Om Room, some of them. So please join them over there. Don't forget everything that's going on. And for sure, don't forget that tomorrow's the last opportunity to sign up for Dr. Joe's class. And don't forget, be here. Make sure you're here Wednesday, okay? For the potluck at 5:30. And so don't forget, look at all our adorable pets that we have, and they have a bake sale. So go out there and support them so they can continue and take, look at this little, aren't they cute? They're so cute. So somebody needs a little something to love on today. Take them home. Oh, aren't they cute? Go out there and join them. They're God in fur, all right? They're God in fur. So take one of those little godlings home. All right, so let's just do a closing prayer. So, from that state of gratitude, knowing that wherever we are, with whatever is there in our life, it is there for a divine purpose. And we are here walking through that, in that knowing that we are God in skin. And so we are so grateful for this talk today to remind us to be flexible, to remind us to go always to that inner security, knowing that we have the power to go through this, and that this is leading us to that higher ground, to that better opportunity. And we also recognize that each person in our life, no matter how they are showing up, they too are on their journey, and it is our opportunity to send them light and love as they walk through this thing that we call life. So I'm so grateful for this music that inspired us, for Dr. Joe that always reminds us and tells us the truth of our being, for our practitioners that hold us in that love and in that light, and for our staff that always is supporting us with this great event every week, every day. There is something happening here almost every day of the week. So knowing that this is the truth, knowing that this is our spiritual center, which we support not only financially, but we support with our prayers, we say thank you. We know that all is well, all is perfect, because all is God. And we surrender to that and let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. See you here Wednesday. Have a great week. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Jay. You have a question? I'm sorry, it is a pasta dinner. You don't need to bring anything except your beautiful selves, all right? I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you, Barry. All right, thank you now. I'm sorry. Okay?